All right, welcome. This is DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles, live with you here on Football Sunday. Obviously, we got the Eagles playing the Raiders here at 1:05 uh, Pacific Pacific Standard Time. Yeah, I mean, what an incredible matchup! What an incredible matchup this could be. I mean, it could be a great game for the Eagles to possibly start a turnaround to this season. It's not going to turn around the season like some people think. If they win, it's going to be a start to the turnaround. Obviously, there's so many things that we've dealt with so far this season: penalties, lack of discipline, offense not making sense, inaccurate throws from the quarterback Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts not playing really well, and in my honest opinion, getting worse as the season progresses. But here's some things. Let's talk about some things as far as this matchup is concerned, because it is 12:45 Pacific Standard Time, and the game is in 20 minutes. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So keys to victory for this game, I honestly believe that the Eagles might be able to take advantage of the fact that the Oakland Raiders aren't as strong up front in the interior of the offensive line. So Fletcher Cox and Javon Hargrave will possibly have an opportunity to eat. But here's the thing about that. Here's the thing about getting pressure on that offensive line is Derek Carr is one of the best right now in the league this season at stepping up, avoiding the rush, and also finding his pass catchers when he needs to at the right time. So if we're gonna need to show him some things that he hasn't seen on film. We're gonna need to dial up some blitzes. Hopefully Jonathan Gannett does that. He comes from a Mike Zimmer tree, and Mike Zimmer likes to bring heat, but that's kind of not something that we've seen a heck of a whole lot from Jonathan Gannon. But maybe we'll get to see that today after their mini bye week and the few extra days of rest after playing the Buccaneers last Thursday. So we will see. Some other things to note as well. Darren Waller has been listed. Las Vegas Raiders. Darren Waller has been listed as inactive for today's game. So that's a big break, a huge break for the Philadelphia Eagles, because he is the top pass catcher for Derek Carr. And so obviously that's one less thing to worry about. But so it should make things it should make life a little bit easier for the Philadelphia Eagles secondary with the absence of Darren Waller, for sure. But the other thing I want to jump into real quick, I want to jump back to, is that offensive line. Obviously the offensive line, the Las Vegas offensive line has been doing well enough to give Derek Carr enough time to make plays, because they do lead the league in pass plays over 20 yards with 32. That's a total of 640 yards off of 20 plus yard plays. That's insane. So obviously, that interior offensive line gives him enough time to make those plays. And you always need another extra second or two to be able to make big plays like that. So how bad is the interior offensive line of the Las Vegas Raiders really, is the question here. Again, obviously they have playmakers. They got Henry Ruggs. Henry Ruggs has been having a great season. Derek Carr has been having a great season. Josh Jacobs, their running back, he is having a down season at 3.2 yards per carry, but that could change against the Philadelphia Eagles defense, who has been having trouble stopping the run all season long. So that 3.2 yards per carry could easily turn into 6 yards per carry, as we well know. And I say that because I'm really tired of watching linebacker Alex Singleton get dragged 3 yards up the field every time after contact. So we'll see. But they did make one change. The Eagles did make one change at linebacker against the Buccaneers. They did play TJ Edwards a lot more, and had less snaps for linebacker Eric Wilson. So, TJ Edwards is obviously more of a run stopper, has more of ability to stop the run than either Alex Singleton or Eric Wilson. So, and I think the reason for that is because of size. TJ Edwards is like a 6'1", 250-pound linebacker. Maybe not that big, but he's definitely up there. He's definitely up there. He's probably one of our biggest linebackers that we have on the roster right now. So that makes sense for why he's able to do that. But let's go ahead and get into keys to victory if the Philadelphia Eagles were to win. Jalen Hurts needs to have a great game. In my opinion, I think that Jalen Hurts needs to have probably one of his best games of the season. And I think he actually needs to have the best game of the season because, obviously we've been running into. We're at the point now where one, fans are starting not to trust him, starting to get tired of him. He's been wildly inaccurate. So if Jalen Hurts wants to change the minds of fans, it needs to start with this week. It needs to start with a good performance this week. If he wants to win, he definitely needs to have a good performance against this Las Vegas Raiders team. So, also, not even just Jalen Hurts, but Nick Sirianni, this coaching staff, the offensive coaching staff needs to have a great game. Miles Sanders needs to have a great game. Miles Sanders, we obviously don't know how many opportunities he is going to get, but in my opinion, with whatever amount of opportunities he does get, he needs to make the most of them. It's one of those things where it's a shame that Miles Sanders has been getting, the lowest amount of touches that I can possibly remember a running back for the Philadelphia Eagles getting, even dating all the way back to the Andy Reid era. But even with that said, I still think whatever he does get, he's gotta take advantage of it. So there's that. We got to make sure that we protect Jalen. We give him some time. Jalen's got to deliver the ball on time. Jalen's got to throw with accuracy. I'm hoping. These are my hopes. I'm hoping that these extra couple days over this past week for the Philadelphia Eagles gave them enough time to really self-evaluate and make some adjustments. Get better at least a little bit. I know I said in my stream yesterday, we haven't seen anything. We haven't seen anything from an improvement standpoint. In fact, Jalen Hurts is getting worse. Hopefully he can get better. That's my hope. Hopefully he can get better. Hopefully he can show that he's improved from the past few weeks. Or the past 5 weeks. But let's see here. And on defense, honestly, I think a guy to watch. I'm going to be watching Avonte Maddox. Avonte Maddox, obviously, our slot cornerback, has been having a great season. And so I'm going to continue to watch him. I think he's bound to have a good game. Darius Slay, obviously, has been having a great season as well. So obviously, I believe he'll be able to continue to play well. But it's going to be interesting to see whether or not they have him shadow Henry Ruggs. So that will be interesting. That will be interesting as well, and how this defense performs, because I don't believe safety Anthony Harris is going to be active for this game. The good news is, though, however, for the Eagles offensive line, we are getting Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata back, both tackles. So that is good. That is good news. 3 out of the 5 offensive line starters are going to be playing in this game, and then the young offensive guards, that we have in as well. Landon Dickerson has been playing well. So there's a reason. There's no reason the Eagles shouldn't be able to. Well, let me rephrase this. There's reason to have hope. There's reason to have hope that the Eagles can be competitive in this game. But if Jalen comes out and plays the way that he's been playing, then there's reason to doubt from drive number 1. There's reason to doubt from drive number 1. And obviously it's game day, so like my my tone is a little bit more optimistic than it was last night. So got to be optimistic on game day before the game. But we'll definitely see how this plays out. If what I really want to see, honestly, what I really want to see is I want to see Nick Sirianni come out and establish the ground game. And I want to see him establish the ground game early. And I want to see less of this RPO stuff. I really do. I really do. I want to see less of this RPO stuff. Now, people have come out and said, we got to stop doing the RPO stuff. We got to stop doing the RPO stuff. Well, here's the thing. I can understand from this point of view. I can understand why they're doing the RPO stuff. Technically, it is Jalen Hurts' rookie season, and when you have a quarterback, and you want to make that transition from college to the NFL as smooth and as smooth as possible, but still progress in his development at the same time. And so, what does that mean? Well, they're gonna run what he did in college and then sprinkle in some professional developments here and there. And so that's exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what he did in college. He did the RPO. There's no reason why Jalen Hurts shouldn't be doing the RPO a little bit better than he's operating it, because it's exactly what him and Devontae Smith did. So at Alabama. So, I'm not really, it's hard to pinpoint why it's been so bad, but I think it's time to kind of take the training wheels off. The training wheels aren't working. The training wheels aren't working. And it's funny because I heard Philly 500 say this the other day. Is if maybe it was Joey Shakes, or maybe it was their podcast, together. But they talked about the fact that it's like, if your quarterback has an audition year, wouldn't you want the full script to the movie? If you're auditioning for, say you're auditioning for a movie, wouldn't you want the full script to the movie to audition with? So, I mean, that's not how it goes. I mean, I can tell you that. You don't audition with the full script of the movie. You just don't. You do it with scenes. But I get what they were trying to say. So, and it's a good point. You want to show everything that you possibly can. And with that said, it's like, yeah, throw the whole kitchen sink. Throw the whole kitchen sink at him. I think it's time. And the reason why I think it's time is because I think he's running out of time. So, see what he can do well, because he's not doing the RPO well at all. And maybe Jalen Hurts is seeing ghosts as well. Maybe he's seeing ghosts out there. Maybe he doesn't trust his offensive line. Maybe he thought that he was going to have his healthy offensive line, healthy starting offensive line. Maybe he's not one of those quarterbacks that adjusts well to injury of the offensive line in front of him. I mean, there's so many things that we have to consider here. You know what I mean? The one thing I don't like that's been brought up among other Philly podcasters is this scheme and people thinking that this scheme would stick with a different quarterback. I honestly believe that the scheme is catered to the. I think they've catered this scheme to the quarterback. I really do. Or I think they catered. I think that the only reason why we're doing the RPO so much is because of Jalen Hurts. You know what I mean? So it's like even if we got a different quarterback next year, people are coming out and saying, well, no, I wouldn't want him to come in. I wouldn't want that quarterback to come in and run this scheme. The scheme would change. The scheme would change if Joe Flacco came in and took over for Jalen Hurts in say 2 weeks. They're not going to run this scheme that we're currently running with Joe Flacco. That would be absolutely out of this world. You know what I'm saying? So the question is this, and I'm not trying to jump weeks here, but say the Eagles lose today, and then they lose to the Detroit Lions next week, and we're the team that gives Detroit its first win. I mean, the city of Philadelphia is going to be absolutely in an uproar. That's just plain and simple, hands down, matter of fact. So we'll be calling for people's heads. But I think honestly, I think people are going too far too quickly when it comes to their opinions on Nick Sirianni. I really, really do. I really, really do. There's a possible shot that in my personal opinion, I think ask yourself the question: what if Nick Sirianni actually wanted to go with Joe Flacco in the beginning? If you think about it, I mean, we spent so much time in the off season. Going over different running packages and practicing different running packages in training camp and developing a big package for like guys like Jordan Howard, even Boston Scott. Each running back on this team was getting a package developed for them. Even Kerryon Johnson, who's not on the team anymore. And now we're not really seeing any of that. So I mean, and also think about this too, is like he waited forever to name the starter. In my opinion, it is a possibility that Nick wanted to go with Joe Flacco because he was going to run an offense that was more similar to the vision that Nick had, but how he maybe came down and said, no, we're going to roll with Jalen and see what the kids got. That happens all the time in the NFL. Does anybody remember any given Sunday? Al Pacino wanted to stick with Dennis Quaid, the veteran quarterback, and Cameron Diaz wanted to go with the hot new thing, Jamie Foxx. Cameron Diaz was right at the end of the day, but it happens. It happens all the time. That's a movie, but that sort of shit does happen. You know what I'm saying? So. And what are they finding out? Well, they're finding out that Jalen hasn't been real effective. They're finding out that Jalen hasn't been real effective. I mean, honestly, my biggest thing with him is he's inconsistent. And honestly, I don't think he trusts his playmakers. I don't think he trusts his offensive line. It is hard to put a finger on it. But for me, it's just I need more consistency. I need more consistency out of my quarterback. And the truth of the matter is that they wouldn't run this many RPOs. The offense would be different. If the city of Philadelphia wants to see more traditional run plays, and more balance, then you're asking for us to switch to Joe Flacco, and possibly Gardner Minshew. That's what you're asking for. Jalen Hurts is different. The RPO is supposed to work with Jalen Hurts. So you guys are, a lot of people are calling for the head of Nick Sirianni too quickly and not really thinking too much in depth about what the actual problem is. The dude's not throwing accurately. He's not making accurate passes. And before you go out blaming anyone, look at the facts. He's not making accurate throws. He's not making accurate throws. Like even if the scheme was like let's for example, let's switch out Nick Sirianni and put Sean Payton in there. Jalen Hurts is still making inaccurate throws. Plain and simple. He's still making inaccurate throws. So, to guys who are wide open. And that's the issue. But anyway, the game is about to start, and I just wanted to hit it up with this pregame. Darren Waller, again, as I said, has been ruled inactive, so he will not be playing for the Las Vegas Raiders. This game is taking place in Las Vegas. The Eagles take on the Las Vegas Raiders, and we will see what happens. We will see if the Eagles can take a step in the right direction to possibly turning the season around. But honestly, this is hard for me to say. Longtime Philadelphia Eagles fan from Philadelphia. I do not think they're going to be able to pull it out today. I think Josh Jacobs is going to be able to have his best game of the season today against this Philadelphia Eagles defense. And I think that the Las Vegas Raiders are going to win somewhere in the vicinity of 24-17. Much love. This is DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles. I will be back on with you guys later in the day for a post game. Much love. Enjoy the game. Happy Sunday, everybody. Peace out. Go Birds, baby.